I was skeptical about this one at first. I mean, I've tried a bunch of shop vacs over the years, and most of them either sound like a jet engine or can't pick up anything finer than sawdust. Then I got my hands on the Nilfisk Industrial Critical Area Vacuum, and honestly, it changed how I think about cleaning up fine dust. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What really surprised me is how quiet it runs. I've got a small woodworking shop in the garage, and the last vac I owned made so much noise I had to wear ear protection just to vacuum up a little bit of shavings. This Nilfisk though, it's got a motor that hums instead of screams. I can actually have a conversation while it's running, which is a game changer when I'm trying to explain a project to a friend or just listen to a podcast while I clean up. It's not silent by any means, but it's definitely in the I can live with this range. The suction power is next level. I've got a dust collection system hooked up to my table saw, but there's always that fine dust that escapes and settles on the floor. This vacuum picks up everything, even the stuff that's almost invisible. I'm talking about the kind of dust that gets into your lungs if you're not careful. The ULPA filter is a big part of that. It's designed to capture particles as small as 0.12 microns, which is way finer than what most HEPA filters can handle. I did a quick test by sprinkling some baking soda on the floor and running the vacuum over it. No residue left behind. That's the kind of performance you want when you're dealing with fine powders or hazardous materials. Another thing I love is the 2¼ gallon tank. It's big enough to handle a full day of cleanup without having to empty it constantly, but it's not so massive that it's a pain to move around. The unit itself is on wheels, so I can pull it from the garage to the driveway without breaking a sweat. The hose is flexible and long enough to reach most areas, and the attachments that come with it, crevice tool, upholstery brush, and a wide floor nozzle, cover all the bases. I used the crevice tool the other day to clean out the vents in my car, and it did a great job of getting into those tight spots without scratching anything. Durability is something I don't take for granted anymore. This thing is built like a tank. The housing is metal, not plastic, so it can take a few bumps without denting or cracking. I've had it for a few months now, and it's still running like new. The motor is rated at 1.5 horsepower, which gives it that strong suction without overworking itself. I've read that some users have had this vacuum for over a decade with minimal maintenance, which says a lot about its build quality. Now, it's not perfect. The only real downside I've found is the weight. At around 25 pounds, it's not light, but the wheels make it manageable. Also, the filter needs to be cleaned regularly, especially if you're using it in a dusty environment. Nilfisk recommends washing the filter every few months, which is a small price to pay for the performance you get. The noise level is also something to consider if you're sensitive to sound, but as I mentioned earlier, it's much quieter than most industrial vacuums. If you're someone who deals with fine dust on a regular basis, whether it's in a workshop, a lab, or even just around the house, this vacuum is worth the investment. It's reliable, powerful, and built to last. The price tag might seem a little steep at first, but when you consider how much time and hassle it saves you in the long run, it's easy to see why it's a favorite among professionals. So, if you're in the market for a vacuum that can handle the tough jobs without making a racket, check it out. The link is below if you want to take a closer look.